Let's just jump right in, shall we? Aging. It's that one universal biological reality we all share, right? I mean, the clock ticks, the calendar turns, and our bodies inevitably change. But what if there are outliers? Welcome to today's Explainer. We're going to dive into some truly mind-blowing data and look at a select group of people who seem to have just completely bypassed the normal rules of human biology.
So I want you to think about this for a second. Have you ever noticed this in your own life? You're just going about your day and you cross paths with someone who literally refuses to grow old. Their appearance completely defies the passage of time. You look at them, then you look at their actual age on paper, and your brain just kind of short-circuits trying to reconcile the two. Well, the source material we're unpacking today highlights a few specific individuals who take this exact phenomenon to an absolute unbelievable extreme.
Section 1. The Evergreen Hero. Let's talk about Nagarjuna.
Now think about the kids who grew up watching his early movies. Those kids are genuinely getting old now. But Nagarjuna? He stayed exactly the same. The audience aged, but the man on the screen did not. So I want you to actively engage with this for a sec. How old is he? If you had to put a number on him based purely on his youthful energy and appearance, what's your guess?
He is 66 years old. Can you even believe that? 66, and he still looks like a vibrant, young leading man. It completely shatters our standard, accepted timeline of what aging is actually supposed to look like in our 60s. But hold on to your hats, because he is just the beginning. Let's move on to our next example and see how this builds.
Section 2. The Impossible Duo. Enter Jolene Diaz.
Let me warn you right off the bat. When you look at the facts surrounding Jolene, your brain is going to genuinely struggle to process the numbers here. If you had to guess her age, what would you say? 25? Maybe 30? Or, okay, 35 if we're pushing it to the absolute limit. Those all seem like perfectly reasonable, totally believable ages based on how she looks, right?
Well, here's the reality check. The woman on the left is Jolene, and she's a 48-year-old mother. And the woman on the right, that's her 21-year-old daughter. Side by side, it is virtually impossible to tell who is who. They look exactly like peers. It's literally a 48-year-old passing seamlessly for someone in her early 20s. Mind-blowing, right?
Section 3. The Time Traveler. This brings us to Anil Kapoor.
Our source explicitly points out that this man was born way back in 1956. Do the quick math on that for a second. He is turning 70 years old this year. 70! Yet he moves, he acts, and he looks like a man decades younger. It's just phenomenal.
It genuinely makes you wonder. As our source playfully notes, what magical herbs is he eating? I absolutely love that quote because it captures the exact thought every single one of us has when looking at him. You see a 70-year-old man who looks like that, and your immediate assumption is, well, there's got to be some kind of mystical, secret potion involved here.
Section 4. The Ultimate Surprise. Let's look at Liu Yalin.
Okay, if you thought 70 was impressive, let's look at our final and honestly most extreme case. Let's play the guessing game one more time. How old is Li Yulin? Given the incredibly high bar set so far, you might be adjusting your expectations and aiming a little bit higher now. 30? 40? Maybe 50?
Brace yourselves for this one, guys. She is 75 years old. 75! It is an absolutely jaw-dropping reality. We're talking about a 75-year-old woman who literally looks like she's barely out of her 30s. No way, right?
Section 5. The Ultimate Anti-Aging Secret.
So we know who these people are. We've seen the unbelievable numbers. But how are they actually achieving this? Well, the primary takeaway from our source is pretty straightforward. They don't look like this by accident. This isn't just winning the genetic lottery and then living however they please. No, achieving this level of age defiance requires incredibly strict, unyielding regimens. And here's exactly what that strict regimen looks like across the board for these folks. It's a rigid list of total non-negotiables. First, absolutely no smoking. No tobacco or gutka products of any kind. No junk food whatsoever. They completely eliminate cold drinks, which means avoiding all those sugary carbonated sodas and artificial additives. And the final, perhaps most challenging point, zero stress. They actively refuse to let stress enter their lives.
Section 6. Stress versus youth.
Now, things like diet and avoiding tobacco, those are physical habits. But achieving zero stress, that is an entirely mental discipline. On one side of our modern reality, we have these ageless lifestyles, strict physical habits combined with an uncompromising zero-stress mindset. But on the other side, we have a reality that's heavily reliant on quick junk food, completely saturated with high anxiety and just constant, unending stress. And what's the direct consequence of that modern reality? Well, according to our source, the sheer volume of stress we take on daily is causing a very visible biological reaction: white hair at a remarkably young age. We are literally seeing the physical toll of anxiety manifesting as premature aging among younger and younger people today. The contrast, honestly, couldn't be clearer.
Which leads us to a deeply important final question to leave you with today. Are our stressful lives aging us before our time? Because if these ageless individuals prove anything, it's that how we treat our bodies, and especially how we manage our mental stress, dictates how we move through time. Are your everyday habits accelerating the clock, or are you actively protecting your youth? Think about it. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.